Alright, it's already recording. I'll just edit this part out. Alright, so today. No, what are you doing? No!
Trying to find a good word so.
Horizontal. No, you're gonna be up close to me anyway.
I know. I'll zoom in.
Zooming in is terrible.
Okay, fine. I'll get down.
Alright.
Just this is really close. Okay.
Alright, so today I'll be telling you guys how to work with a multimeter. Today I'll be teaching you specifically with a multimeter that is a DM310A multimeter. A little bit different from what we use in class, but I found this one in the garage with my dad. And while it's different and it's much older, I think it's definitely going to be interesting to use. And it's definitely different, like I said. So anyway, of course we have to put these into the correct places. So we have to put the red into the voltage / the ohm area right here, and this one goes into the comm slot right here. If we're going to be measuring with both voltage and resistance first, that's what we're going to do first. So let's try DC voltage first with this battery. So this battery should have a voltage of around 1.5 volts at the moment. So with our knob right here, we have a ton of little knobs where it gives us different little voltage areas where we can definitely measure. But for us, we're going to be, you can go all the way up to say 1000 DC volts, but that's going to be out of range for our battery right here. So if we measured 1000 volts, we would get a very, very low number, or it could be I could even display a 0 on this. So we're going to try to get as close to it as possible. So let's try 20 first, even though it's at 1.5 volts. So I'm going to put the red lead right here and the black lead right here. And I get a voltage reading of 1.59 volts. So I'm pretty close to the target number I want. Also, I can go to the 2 volts here, and I'll pretty much get the same thing. Very close to it, 1.623. It's pretty close enough, but let's say if I go all the way to 1000, it's definitely going to read much off. See, it's just 1 by itself. It's too small, and like I said, we have to be more careful with what we measure when it comes to this specific multimeter. So with AC voltage, it's pretty much the same thing, but we're going to be switching from DC voltage to AC voltage. So with this one, I'm going to be I can't use battery because that's only for DC voltage purposes. So what I'm going to be using is this outlet right there. So yeah, you can just stay right there if you want, or you can come over. Whatever. Thanks. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be putting this red lead into here.
This is unsafe.
It's safe. Don't worry. Well, I'm going to put this one in. I'm joking. It should be reading 700 around there. Wait, let me move this around. I got different readings earlier. Maybe it's a little lower. Yeah. Oh yeah, I used the one in my room, which has a much higher voltage because it's a tire outlet, having much more displays. But see, I am getting a reading from this little outlet right here. Usually, you also want to have your black lead into ground when you're measuring DC voltage. That's also a good idea just for safety purposes as well. So always keep that in mind, especially when you're working with circuits themselves. You always want to have... What are you doing? Did you stop it? Oh, I'm sorry. Alright, I think you did. So what you want to do, usually with circuits big like that, you want to have the black lead onto like the ground area, while you can have the red wherever you want on the circuit. You should be pretty much safe in there. So I'm going to speed this up a little bit. Resistance, this should go pretty fast. So for resistance, this is a resistor that I got from earlier, and should be a 47 ohm resistor. You can place it like this, or like this, but you should get the same exact number no matter what. So when I place these down, I get... Yeah, around 47 ohms. And I can do the same thing, like I said, with the voltage. You have to use the correct dial number. And if you want to measure continuity, you can do that right here. Same thing, kind of, sort of. See, I get continuity. That just shows there is connection between the two. For resistance, though, you definitely want to measure resistance with the power off, no matter what, though, because with resistance, it's much more dangerous because you have to open up the circuit to be able to measure resistance. So it's definitely advised to turn off the circuit whenever you have to measure resistance. So with amperage, sadly, I don't have a great way to measure amperage because I don't have a circuit or anything. But usually, what you want to do is you want to have this. Say, like, just imagine this is in a circuit right now. So I'm also going to have this into, say, 2 DC amps, or it could be AC amps as well. But for this purposes, we'll just say DC. So I'm going to place this node here. This also should be done with the power off as well before you start. You place this one here. You place this one here, and you will get a reading. But and then you turn it on, and then power would go through into these circuits if there was into these components of the circuit if the circuit was complete. And finally, for amperage, I will say this is the most important thing. Do not cross amperage when you go like this to this with the resistor. That'll cause a shortage, causing well, like I said, it's a short. It can ruin the entire circuit, and it will ruin the amp meter itself. So you have to be careful of that when it comes to measuring amperage. You definitely want to avoid that. So that's pretty much it with how to handle a multimeter. You just have to be careful with what you do. You don't want to electrocute yourself or ruin up the circuit or make it short. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I hope you enjoyed this little tutorial by me. Thank you so much.